Welcome to Checki Financial's presentation of how to have fun and still have money. I'm John J. Checki Jr. Yes, I'm a CPA and a CFP and the co-founder of Checki Financial.
I'm JJ Checki III, CFP as well, co-founder and enjoying helping our clients have fun and still have money. What does that mean, John?
Happy to explain, JJ. Having fun and still having money means that you have a chance to have control of your schedule. What does that mean in everyday language? I know a guy who lives in Florida who is a wildly successful human being, and he says, I get up every morning and then decide what I'm going to do today. And a very famous speaker, who shall go nameless, said, I don't have a day like that until next March. And I think that's a real handicap. Most of the folks that I know that are not on stage doing this, that, and the other thing, and not that there's anything wrong with being on stage and doing this, that, and the other thing, if that's what you want to do. But most people had a period of time where they went to work or had a business. They kind of lived through that, had their children, raised their children. If they lived long enough, had grandchildren. And isn't it fun to be able to travel, be healthy enough to travel, have enough money to travel, and actually pay for it in advance, and cover all your expenses and then some, and be generous to your family, friends, church, if you go to church, and the institutions. JJ, how would you define having fun and still having money?
Yes, the freedom of schedule is definitely a big thing. Had an opportunity recently to spend some time with the family during the day unexpectedly, but the schedule allowed it, and got to make some great memories middle of the work week or on a work day typically, because it was opportunity to be able to have your own business and continue to take care of the clients we love on the schedule that we choose.
Immediately enough, today, part of my day was spent taking a car that I had just bought, not a new car, but a used car, which was certified pre-owned car. And I got a notice in the email saying, hey, there's a recall. I thought, isn't that convenient? No. So drove down there today. Actually, I waited 3 days before I got to drive down there today because I wanted to arrange to have a loaner car so I could drop off the car. They could tell me what the recall was. I could show them my information, make some inquiries in terms of whether I'll get some documentation from them, and then drive back up. It only took about half an hour to get there and about 45 minutes to get back in, because we live in the Dallas, Texas area, Dallas-Fort Worth, and there's lots to do when it comes to traffic patterns, since people have gone back to work and no longer suffering from homeward bound situations. But it meant that I had the time and the effort and the energy at 78 to go do that. And we help people have fun and still have money by, one, if we're lucky enough to get to meet you a little bit earlier in life and prepare you that there are ages and stages and phases of life, or you're young, you're vigorous, you're like JJ climbing mountains indoors and doing all kinds of fun hobbies, or playing pickleball if you like that, or playing golf if you're living in a climate where you can play golf and not get eaten up alive by the bugs or the sun, or an alligator if you're playing golf in Florida, and then come back home, give your wife or husband a kiss, and help them cook dinner and help clean up afterward, and actually have a joyous day, and then get up tomorrow looking forward to the adventures for the following day. And why don't you describe a typical day for folks that are retired, JJ?
A typical day with retired one is get up when they prefer to get up. We have the earlier clients, obviously they keep getting up early just because that's their natural kind of mode as far as getting started in the day. Others who enjoy a little bit more sleep or sleep a little bit later do that. And then they determine what they want to accomplish that day. Not quite as formal as I just said that, but just kind of look at their schedule, look at something they may want to do or already have planned. And frequently, majority of their day is spent doing that one thing. Not rushed to get from one thing to the next, just taking care of the one thing that they have on their mind and enjoying the process while doing it.
And to get to visit with family and friends is a great joy if you're lucky enough to have family and friends. Talked to a client just this morning who was just back from a cruise. Yes, she's been a client for a number of years. Yes, she was married for a number of years. And sadly, about 2 years ago, her husband died. And how did she respond to that, being a widow? Well, she was smart enough and brave enough and active enough to cultivate a community, whether it was with singers, because she's a singer, dancers, because she does some dancing, and community involvement, and helping a major school here in the area continue to prosper, and help some local arts people in terms of their organizations. And since she's almost as old as I am, started to train other people years ago so they can kind of assume roles of leadership while she got to take a cruise down the Snake River and has a couple of other trips planned this year. You want to go traveling sooner rather than later if you're interested in traveling, because commonly folks have another stage of life, which I affectionately call the doctor to doctor stage. Before we get to that stage, why don't you tell us some things that people in their 40s and 50s that you know commonly do?
Yes. Those who enjoy the outdoor activities go to the park, particularly with their kids, which is recent in our home, did some hiking, or the family did some hiking outdoors and enjoyed a nice summer day. As far as other activities, whether that's pickleball, so was said a moment ago, or rock climbing, just different things that being more active, especially in the community, being active physically, it can be working out at the gym or working out in other ways, and just continuing to spend time together. It's games. That can be something we do as well, as far as compete through games, board games, card games, all kind of fun stuff like that.
But just for fun, let's slow down this narrative and say, what if I don't like going outside? I don't like any kind of physical activity. What can I do after I finish working for money and still really enjoy being alive? Well, you can see there's some pictures behind me that a couple of famous painters painted. My wife also is an artist and has painted some pictures. And comedically enough, the guy that has a company that services our pool and does a wonderful job with his crews has taken up painting also. So if you're lucky enough to be able to move a brush into paint, you too can paint. It doesn't have to look like anything you're painting. It could just be a wonderful potpourri of colors. One of my favorite things to do is to actually cook, particularly Italian dishes or steak dishes. And one of the kids, JJ's oldest child, just turned 18 and graduated from high school. And sweet, amazing Sarah, I said to her, "What's your favorite dinner?" And she, kind of analytical, said, "I'll have to get back to you on that," which is so funny, you have no idea. But normally when it comes to cake, what kind of cake does your daughter really like the best, JJ?
Say chocolate with ice cream.
And since I'm not a baker like you are, but you are a baker, tell us the difference between a baker and a cook, JJ.
Cook is you kind of just add ingredients along the way, a little bit of this, a little bit of that to taste, and just kind of have fun with it. Could be different every time you make it. I just asked John. As far as baking, it's really narrowed down the recipe of exactly a quarter teaspoon of this, a cup of that. And once you get good at the fundamentals, then you tweak off of that to make those little variations just to make the flavors pop even more.
One of the things I really enjoy doing is hosting family dinners and attending family dinners. And there's a difference between the two. One of my darling wife, Susie's family, Caleb, decided along with his significant other, Justine, to host Thanksgiving dinner 2 years in a row. And they were serving turkey. So since I've been cutting turkey since about 1969 with JJ's mom doing this, that, and the other thing when it came to hosting Thanksgiving dinners, I just casually said to Caleb, "Do you know anything about carving turkey?" He just looked at me with that unmistakable deer in the headlights look, and I thought, I can show you how to do that very easily if you like. So luckily enough, I remembered how to cut up a turkey and make it presentable. And also, let me be very blunt on that. I actually researched that further on the internet. After years of cutting up a turkey, I found an even easier, more efficient way to do it, which was amazing to me. And I've used that ever since, but I still look at that up every single year, which underscores the fact that Checki Financial, we continue to do research. We do not anticipate that when we know something, that something never changes, whether it's IRA rollovers and the rules associated with that restrict the number of rollovers you can do in a year, or the most efficient way to go ahead and access your resources and minimize your income tax, or how to host a family gathering. And as we used to do in our neighborhood, learn how to do flow, because our house has two great rooms, an atrium in the middle, and a circular, no kidding, hallway. So you can actually walk around in circles and still be in our house and sometimes get lost. But we have lots of sitting areas in our home. Therefore, we can encourage people to actually have intimate conversations. So summarize what we do at Checki Financial. One, you can see that we don't emphasize accumulating vast sums of money, although lots of our clients have done that over the years. We also try and help people learn why they're accumulating the money, what's the purpose of accumulating the money, how that's actually going to benefit them, and how their experiences are going to benefit them. And we do our best to help people stay healthy so they can avoid being old, sick, and broke. And to summarize simply is you'll have more money and pay less taxes. This is John Checki, co-founder of Checki Financial, wishing you a happy, healthy tomorrow and today.
And if you'd like to know more and have more golden nuggets, our book is available. Spend time and save money. Let us know that you want a copy, and we will get it in your inbox. Thank you. This is JJ Checki,
And
CFP.
John Checki. Bye.